Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network hot take. If you haven't seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, game, or a movie. Today, we're going to be talking about a game, and that game is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And to review it with me, my co-host, Chris Trio, as always.
What's going on, Gooch? How are you?
Good. What's up?
You know.
You may be hearing new mics. It's pretty sexy. New mics, huh?
It's
Metal
pretty great.
gear.
Yeah, I mean, these things are very solid.
Yeah, I'm very happy with this purchase, and I hope it delivers a better quality audio podcast.
So
to
what
your
kind,
ears.
for those interested?
These are Audio Technica that's what AT stands for. Audio Technica 2020s. We are on a Xenex Q1202 USB soundboard, so it's just a 4 output. You can kind of get these in like 2 channels, 4 channels, 17 channels.
Gotcha.
24 channels. Usually boards like this board just gets bigger, and like that's where the price happens.
That makes sense
with them.
By the way, not sponsored by us, or they aren't sponsoring us at all. We
No,
just really
but-
like these. They have the Gooch stamp of approval.
Oh, they don't have your approval. Yeah.
No, I mean that's what I just
I did
asked.
some research at work for I started a podcast at work, and I kind of use that as it's funny because I kind of like I based a lot of that stuff off this podcast, and then I kind of like
Vice took some stuff out from.
right,
That's good.
yeah, because you know I have
Do you
my
have a bigger
companies
board at work? Or
in the studio.
Yeah, I assume it's
Oh my god, it's like 24 channels.
really.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's
And
big.
then that's how many you said?
This is just 4.
Just 4.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. So
it-
yeah, that's exponentially.
Because
bigger.
the board at work would take up like half this desk.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the same thing. It's
The
just
more
a
you know.
bunch of channels.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here to talk about Jedi, Star Wars. See, the title's so confusing. Star Wars Jedi
I think
Fallen
you can
Order.
drop the Star Wars though, right? Like, can't we? Because I feel like people will get
What's
the Jedi
Fallen Order, man? I don't know.
No,
what
I think
that
you can
is.
do Jedi Fallen Order. I'm saying,
yeah,
I'm not
no,
saying
no.
you. I'm saying the euphemistic you. Like,
I'm just saying.
It's confusing.
I'm just
yeah.
saying the whole title of the game.
Yeah,
at
I
this point.
appreciate that. But yeah, we're here to talk about it. We were supposed to do this Sunday, but I had some car troubles, sadly. So we're here now. Gooch, quick impressions. Jedi Fallen Order.
It's the best Star Wars game narratively we've had. I
Agreed.
can't speak to
Like Jedi
Force Unleashed.
Knight Academy.
I've never played Force Unleashed. I played Knights of the Old Republic. I played Jedi Academy. But that was my fun. We're also dealing with games in the EU.
Yeah.
So this game is canon to Star Wars. You play as Cal Kestis, who is a Jedi post Order 66, and he's escaping the trouble of the Sith Inquisitors.
Yeah.
But while I do like the story, and I think it's pretty good, I think this game's gameplay, I feel like the genre does not match the IP, and that really brings it down for me. I ran into a ton, and I mean a ton of bugs on Xbox One
Really?
through my entire playthrough.
Like what kind of
Clothes glitching out, long load screens. That's not a bug, but the load screens are atrocious.
That's all, yeah, I have that on my
Absolutely atrocious.
And it's weird. It's not like
just like clipping issues, like weird falling through the map sometimes.
Really?
A lot of when you first load in, enemies T-posing and just like sliding against the floor as they T-pose in.
That's not good.
Every time I fought the second sister, the main villain of the game, in her like every fight with her, she would T-pose every time I jumped in because I spawned so fast in, I ran right in.
Yeah.
So things were still
And
loading in.
still, yeah.
Textures not coming in. Like, I mean through the whole game. I'm not fucking around.
Yeah.
I literally mean the entire game I was running into bugs. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. First off, like you said, I think it's the best Star Wars game we've got, period, so far, ever. And Force Unleashed is fun, but it's a very different game. And
Right.
I will say that narrative's very cool to me, like the whole Darth Vader apprentice thing and all that, but I found this a lot more intriguing, and I found myself empathizing with Cal a lot more, and yeah, I don't know. I think they did a really good job. I mean, I experienced some glitches, but nothing on the level that you're saying. Like
From literal level 1 to level And
that sucks. That really does. That's not good.
Like, there's nothing like Cal's lightsaber fucking coming out of his side mid cutscene, or Seer's coat like popping out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, this is
Really?
taking.
Wow. Yeah. So
I'm like, this is hard, man.
I
Like,
had
this
some
taking
like
me out.
texture stuff not come up fast, and then I think my game completely froze and restarted once. Besides that, I didn't have anything like none of the T-pose stuff and the people spawning in and all that stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I will say I disagree with you on the genre not matching the IP. I really enjoyed the Souls style blocking and parrying and watching out for your animals. That being said, I think it's extremely better when you're facing human enemies. I don't think that the like animals are nearly as fun to fight.
I would 100% agree with that. Every time I fought a bug or a creature, anything that wasn't a human, I was like, this isn't gonna be fun.
Yeah,
because they're just like, I feel like they hit you and they fuck you up, and you can't really like block them well, and like fighting them is kind of clunky, and they're just like kind of spongy.
Yeah, it's fun. I get you're playing on Grandmaster.
I played through Grandmaster the entire way.
So I will say, by the end, like anytime I ran into a bug enemy or something like that, it was like 5-second fight, they're dead. I dodged them once, zing. But again, I think this game really shines when you're fighting like the Purge troopers and the Stormtroopers, and I really like how you kind of have to fight like a Jedi. You have to wait and seize your opportunity when it opens up. You can't be running in there like it's the Force Unleashed and just swinging your sword like a baseball bat, because you'll probably die 100%. And it depends, I guess, on especially what difficulty you're playing on. I played on Jedi Master, not Grandmaster.
But apparently, the difficulty's still pretty fucking hard.
No, I mean, it was hard, but like
even when you're on the lower difficulties, and that's where I'd be like, just get rid of the difficulties altogether and make it somewhat difficult, like Souls games are.
Make it just have a steady.
Yeah, and the difficulty can increase as the game goes, whatever you want to do.
I think that eliminates a lot of people that like. In the way of like,
I'm not saying it needs to be as hard as Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Sekiro. Yeah. Like, I really think this is baby's first Souls game. Like, this is a good casual way to get somebody into this genre.
Sure.
I don't know why they'd pick this game to do that with, but it's there, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed the combat. I thought it wasn't perfect. I would have really liked to see them take a few, maybe even like 6 more months, really polish it out. Give us maybe another level. One thing I don't think
not a
this
lot
game
of levels.
Yeah, and also I don't think that they push them through you in a great way, or push you through them in a great way.
No, they don't.
The signposting is a big issue.
Dude.
I found myself being able to read the environments a lot more easily as I went along and as I got through the campaign.
Zepho is a fucking nightmare.
Trying to get around.
The level design, I don't mean the environment design and what the planets look like. I just mean the way the levels are laid out are atrocious. They're just so confusing. And this I'm gonna throw a reference at that you won't get, but anyone who's played Guild Wars 2, in the Heart of Thorns expansion, they kind of go off this verticality gimmick.
Sure.
So in their maps, there are a lot of different tiers to each. Like, it's not just one level. It's like 1, 2, 3, and then like 2 under it, and it's just like the map is so confusing to read. I don't know where I'm going. I gotta backtrack to the end of the fucking level all the way. Ugh.
I didn't find it to be as it was annoying, but I didn't find it to be as big of an issue when I was actually going through the actual story. But when I wanted to come back after I finished the story and go to a certain area where I see, all right, I have a green door that I can go to in this area. And you're right, Zepho. I was on Zepho today before I came over. I'm like, how the fuck do I get to this door? Like, I had no idea.
Matt Penza is in chat. Thank you for watching. He says, need a quick travel. 100%. I think it needed fast travel or travel back to your ship, at least from each meditation point.
You know what I wish
I could deal with going to each one. Yeah. But if meditation points were a way to go back to the beginning of the level.
Just right back to it. You know what they should have done? They should have God of War'd it with the portals. And I've been replaying that just for fun, and that does a really good job of giving you this way, like you said, to get back to your main area, but you can't use that to get back until the end of the game. And I wish Jedi Fallen Order did something similar. But I do like that the map's real time, and I hate and like the map a lot, like how you view it.
I think it looks cool, but like there's like 7 fucking layers to it, and you can see them all on top of each other, whether they're highlighted or not. And you're like,
where am I at? And yeah, I agree.
It's confusing.
There's a few polished things there that I think I wish they took the time for.
I don't really like Dathomir. I don't really like Zepho. I don't really like Bogana. I kind of the only place I really like is Kashyyyk and a little bit of Ilum, but you're not there a ton.
Yeah.
You're there for a good maybe 45 minutes to an hour of gameplay, towards the end of the game.
Yeah, no, that's and we'll get into that later. I was going to say spoiler. Yeah, I don't know. Dathomir I didn't hate, but again, I wasn't
I hated fighting the Night Brothers.
Really? See, I didn't find them that,
and they were
that
the only human enemies I didn't like.
They were really hard, and the fucking guys with the energy bow and arrow were bitches. But I don't know. I found that once I figured out their moves and how to counter them, I never really had an issue. And I guess that's why I did like the fighting a lot. Because like I said, it's about being a Jedi. You wait for your opportunity. You wait and see how these guys move and what their attack patterns are. And I guess that gets back into like the Dark Souls-esque type thing. You die and retry, and that's how you learn. But you need the respawn times to be like that.
Right. And I don't think I would have been annoyed. Like, the boss battles are good, I will actually say.
I like the boss battles a lot.
I died a lot on most of them. Actually, the last boss fight was actually the easiest for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why, but
yeah,
it was.
I would love to see them release a New Game Plus version of this. That would get me back into it, and I'd love to try Grandmaster on that. Now that I really kind of have the combat down and all that, and just to see how truly not difficult or not that much more difficult it is, or if it is like a very steep incline. But let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I thought the combat was great. So your favorite spot was Ilium, you think? Like, what was your favorite planet to explore?
I don't even really think I had one. Like, I really don't think I
liked
any of them to a degree.
What did you not... So you have a preference over one, though, you'd say?
I feel like I don't even want to say Kashyyyk. I think Ilum is first, Kashyyyk is second, but like honestly, it's only out of what, 6?
Yeah, there's 6. I think so. There's actually how many planets? Yeah, we got 6, but the last one is one that you can only go to once at the end of the game. That's
right.
The Inquisitor's base.
I want to talk about a spoiler point, not necessarily to this. Well, it's kind of to the story, but I want to talk about the lightsaber. So if you haven't played through, I would say, most of the game, you might want to back out of the podcast now. We're about to talk about a pretty cool moment that I don't want to spoil for you regarding the lightsaber. So I think it's really cool.
I had this spoiled for me.
Really?
And it's the stupidest way possible, but continue.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
So I like how we go from one lightsaber to double-bladed lightsabers to 2 lightsabers. And I also like how they don't make 2 lightsabers like a weapon type. It's kind of just like an attack combo move.
I wish they did that. And I think I would have loved to see that.
I would have liked it if the game was more expansive, but it's not.
And that's the thing. And I think that's really kind of harkens
to
what I hope to see in the second game. Like, I really do think that they have a fantastic base to build off here. Which I think we're going to get a second one of these, and I'd be very surprised if we didn't.
Yeah.
I think all the base stuff is there. I think this is a pretty great game, but it needs more polish. I would have liked to see a little bit more out of it, but I was kind of disappointed that wasn't its own fighting style, and I could maybe see that being a fighting style in the next game. What about that saber customization, though?
I think it's fucking fantastic.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
I really think it's like probably the best part of the game for me.
It's amazing. You can make your lightsaber your lightsaber.
Yeah,
and I can't say how much I appreciate that. Like, you can change the crystal, you can change your sheaths, you can change your emitters. You can really make that thing your own.
And also, each component is like a lore-based component, like passion and strength.
Passion and strength.
That was the one I used. I used I was on blue for a while, then I switched to orange, and then I was yellow after I got yellow.
Green the whole way until I got purple.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, thank you for giving me at least green and blue to start. And obviously we got orange because we pre-ordered. But
I hate that kind of shit. I don't like pre-order armors and shit that like are better than everything else in the game. Like at the start, I hate it.
I don't. Those are all cosmetics, though.
Yeah,
right?
but like
that's the thing I don't mind.
Oh well, in this, but I'm talking about like in other games where like Oh, here's the
gives you a
pre-order
clear-
armor set, and it's
well,
fucking
remember
incredible.
Battlefront 1, it gave you Han Solo's blaster right away,
Oh,
and people were
how-
just shitting on everyone with it.
How could I forget?
Like, you'd get ting from across the map, and it would be over. But no, I agree. I don't think it really upsets me as much when it's talking about cosmetics.
And going off what Pens is saying in chat, yeah, this was a moment that I feel like I'm gonna ask how you're spoiled in a minute, but like in an ad, in the first a second of the ad, they spoil the double-bladed lightsaber.
Oh, see, wasn't.
And then the end of the ad, they spoil the end moment at the end of the game, and I'm like,
Like
what the fuck are you guys doing? I get it, they're marketing,
That's
but like,
EA.
I'm like,
That's
come
EA.
on,
For some
man.
reason, they're like,
I didn't get spoiled on either of those things.
So how I got spoiled on the double-bladed lightsaber, it's kind of sucks because it's my fault. I went into the menu. You know how I told you could change up your controls and switch everything. I was going through and it was like open, and it was like for single lightsaber, and then the other one said double lightsaber. I was like,
Way.
I was
No
like, fuck.
way.
Yeah,
You serious?
So that's how I saw it. That should be something where like it doesn't show up until you get the second blade, I guess. But
That
I don't really
sucks.
know. But one thing I will say is, and I said this to you guys, is I love that you can literally customize your controls to anything. Like you can go in. I made my my square button the dodge, and then I made my light attack R1. And I want every game to do this. I don't know why. I wonder how tough it is to do, if tough at all. But I think that's an option a lot more games should really have. But yeah, double-bladed lightsaber. So awesome. There was one thing that really annoyed me about the lightsaber, though, and it was when you get towards where you make it into two, and you get that little piece from Sears
That you can't switch.
that you can't swap
They're,
out.
I think they're patching it.
Are they?
Yeah.
Thank God, because that really... I was like, oh, you gave me this very customizable lightsaber, but then you make me keep this one little, like, shitty-looking piece on it. So I'm like, guys, come on. No, don't do that. And I like the idea of it. Obviously, you're taking something from Sears and, like, you're
Right.
together now, whatever.
Right.
But again, don't give me all that customizability. Customization, thank you. And then take it away from me. Because I was like, come on, guys, that was great. But that actual reveal kind of wasn't as cool to me, because did you go to Dathomir first?
Yeah.
Is that where you got the double-bladed, like,
Yeah.
immediately?
I heard you can get it in 2 different spots.
Oh, you can?
Yes. Where'd you get it?
I got it at Dathomir.
You can get it somewhere else. I'm not sure where.
It kind of felt so early in the game that it didn't feel as earned.
It was such an I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
And it
Darth
does-
Maul, is that you?
Where did you come from? I do like it because I didn't love the look of his lightsaber when we first saw it, but I was like, oh, it's a fucking double blade kind. Obviously, that's amazing. I thought that.
Yeah,
made
I
total
didn't
sense.
think about
I
that.
didn't
I just
think
kind
about
of
that
felt
at all.
like the bottom of the hilt was damaged.
Yeah.
Casey Wellman in chat, thank you for tuning in. He said, do either of you wish you played it on other console? For me, maybe yeah, because I had so much bugs, but like at this point, like I'm not like too butthurt about it.
No, I don't. The only reason I really got it on PlayStation was because I haven't been getting many games on it, and the controllers are so evenly parred at this point for me that I really didn't have any
Right,
trouble.
and Casey has a point where like I have a PS4 Pro, but I'm playing on a day one Xbox. I don't know.
Well, hey, I was playing on a day one PlayStation 4. I
don't think
I
the
do think
graphics
that's
were pretty
weird.
good for that game, but
Yeah.
like I don't get like that elitist about certain things. Cyberpunk, yeah, I
Yeah,
got
you're
it on
getting all
PS4.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't usually. It really depends. Like like Resident Evil, I'm playing that on PlayStation because it's kind of like a legacy game for that console.
Sure.
Like that's really my reasoning behind it. So I don't really have regrets other than like maybe I wouldn't have as many bugs.
Sure.
But let's talk about the story.
I like it.
First, let's talk Cal Kestis. How'd you like Cameron Monaghan?
I thought he was great. I thought he did cool. I wasn't like extremely vested in his character by the end. I wasn't
Right.
like blown away.
Right.
But I thought he was perfectly great. I really enjoyed him as like the protagonist. I liked his growth throughout.
Yeah, I think you did a good job.
I think he did cool. I really liked the idea of him. Again, spoilers, but you figure this out very early. Like how he's suppressing his memories of being a Padawan, and basically you're going through the whole campaign.
I like that
relearning
offer.
these.
You forgot how to jump?
That's the one where I was like,
Like, really?
guys, he forgot how to wall run. Like, what are we?
Yeah,
but
it's like
otherwise,
some of the moves are like that's like pretty simple.
But
Like,
I do think
I
it's
like
an
it.
interesting idea of he's had to suppress who he is for it's 6 years after the Purge,
Six
or
or
something.
5, yeah.
And he's really he's never let himself be in touch with the Force because he knows if he does that, he's dead. And
Right.
I thought that was a very interesting aspect. And again, the whole story here is the basic outline is you're trying to find this holocron that has a bunch of locations of Force sensitive kids on it to then create your own Jedi Academy. Obviously, we know that doesn't happen because we have the movies.
Right. One thing about this game that kind of this period in Star Wars and then the period between episode 6 and episode 7 is what can and cannot happen, and I think that really hinders
you're
what
right.
you can do. Because guess what? At the end of the game, when he gets the holocron, it's not worth shit. Because it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. And I still think that they ended it on a satisfying note and a note that made sense to me.
Right. I don't think him. So
And
I
I
don't
guess
think
that
him
is the
cutting it in
hindrance.
half and being like, we can't find these kids. It's like, all right, yeah. I
good.
think it
That
would have
makes sense.
happened regardless.
And I like the
but-
way he says, he's like, we'll leave it up to the Force. And I was like, cool, that's actually really good. I do think that's just the hindrance with Star Wars in general. Of we already have these big points that we know have to happen. So it's not like a Marvel movie where they've kind of started from scratch. Obviously, I feel like they could have done a little bit more with the newer era of things. But when you do nestle it in this time period, there's not much you can do that's world changing. And that does kind of stink. But at the same time, I think they gave us a pretty satisfying and cool story with cool characters. And speaking of characters, what did you think of the crew / BD1?
BD1 is cool.
I fucking love BD1.
BD1 was they did him well.
Yeah.
Not that I have much to say about him, but I liked him.
Yeah.
The crew,
Really?
big
I love
Seer?
Grease. Greasy money, baby. I fucking loved
really?
him. Yeah, I loved it. I love Grease.
I hope I
loved
just didn't blow anyone's
Seer
ears
was
out with that laugh.
definitely very kind of one-notish
She's
for me.
cookie cutter. And then Marin comes in so late, I don't really have time to give a shit about her.
I agree. I mean, I actually gave a shit about her a little bit from the beginning there, just because I think that they built up her idea with like the Night Sisters. I love that they brought in the Night Sisters,
Right,
and stuff like that. I
So
thought that was a really cool
seen
point of
Clone
reference.
Wars, or I guess if you know a little bit more about Darth Maul. Darth Maul's a Night Brother.
Yeah,
from Dathomir.
I guess he was a Night Brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
you're right.
Yes, he is. Yeah. But
Very interesting couple episodes of Clone Wars.
Asajj Ventress from the Clone Wars is
Night
a Night
Sister.
Sister.
Yeah, that's actually the whole. They always talk about how someone came. They thought it was a Jedi, came and destroyed all the Night Sisters, but it was actually Count Dooku. But they don't know basically the difference between, or they
Sith
not that
and
they don't
Jedi.
know, but yeah, they're
Right.
unaware. I thought that was a really cool storyline. Like I said, I really enjoyed BD1. I loved his design. I loved the customization on just basically everything. Besides maybe the ponchos I wasn't too hot on. I would have liked to see some more kind of variety in the outfits.
Ponchos sucked.
Yeah, I just
Sucked.
I didn't change. I barely changed
I wore
them.
ponchos through most of the game, and once I got to Ilum and got my lightsaber, I ditched it because I felt like the character growth, so his physical appearance must change.
grow. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that was my reasoning behind
I
it.
don't know. I would have liked to see a nice like flight jacket or something.
Yeah,
Just, like,
the
I know we
poncho was
can't
lame.
do Jedi robes because obviously that looks a little suspicious.
Right,
but yeah, just a
right,
little something else.
right.
But again, they gave us so much customization on the lightsaber side, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like I
Right,
really don't.
right, right,
They really
right.
kind of satisfied me there, so I wasn't as kind of caught
What
up
did
in
you
it.
think about Second Sister and the Ninth Sister?
As Ninth Sister, I didn't care about as much, obviously, because we don't get as much invested into her story. But the Second Sister, I really enjoyed. I thought her performance was really good.
I enjoyed it. Not
thought-
like anything crazy to me, but you know, good.
I thought they gave us a satisfying story of like how she came to be and why she's doing what she's doing, and I did like the connection with Seer and all that. It was really good. I really enjoyed that they brought her in, and it's funny because they're together almost right after Revenge of the Sith. Actually, I think they're together before the Inquisitors. The Emperor gets them together because in the Vader comic, he gets introduced to them, and apparently they had been around since before even Order 66. There's a lot more.
So
in
like
that.
the Knights of Ren are kind of like
They could
the
be.
Inquisitors.
Yeah,
well, like
definitely.
I would see it as
their
that.
version. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like not Jedi hunters, but this elite group
Of force sensitive
Force
people.
Jedi people.
Yeah.
Or not Jedis, but
What'd you think about like the flashback scenes and stuff like that? Did you like his master?
yeah.
I thought it was cool seeing him in like that species in 3D and stuff.
It's funny. I really like the the prequel time period better than I do the. the original trilogy. I just think it's more interesting.
No, I know. I think the idea of it is more interesting, but what we've seen on screen, that's another. We'll get into
No, yeah, I'm not talking. I'm just talking about the period.
No,
I
it
think
is cool. Like
it's a more interesting time period.
You haven't watched the Clone Wars, have you?
No, not yet. It's on my list.
There's really good. The first, everyone says this first couple episodes are a little tough,
I'll
but it
watch
really
the whole thing.
finds its footing after that first
I watch
season.
all these CW shows. Don't fucking. I can do it.
Fair enough, Gooch. Fair enough. I'm trying to just look at my list here. See if there's anything else
So
I wanna talk about.
I mean, we already talked about the ending. So you didn't get Vader spoiled for you.
No, I did. On fucking.
The
so
ad?
I was on. No, not that actually. So I was on YouTube, and I had shown Super wanted to see one of the scenes from it that I had already been through, the Order
Thumbnail
66
fucked
scene.
you up?
Right, I just scrolled over and I just saw his face behind. Fucking.
it's like,
I was like, God damn.
Jesus
I mean, I
Christ.
assumed because he is the leader of the Inquisitors. That
I didn't
knew
assume
that.
at all.
Well, again, my Star Wars knowledge betrays me. Like
But
that
it's
was just something.
it's a very Rogue One-esque. Vader's gonna fuck you up.
He is a force of nature, and like that's what makes me so sad when I go back and I watch like the prequels, because they take something away from his character when you see him as this kind of whiny baby to this hulking tank of a man.
I
that
know.
will destroy-
He's huge.
He's supposed to be like 7 foot tall. Like he is a shadow. They mentioned him earlier in the campaign. Like Seer goes like, then a shadow showed up or something. Like I assumed that they were talking about Vader, but yeah, I thought he was pretty well used. Obviously, you can't kill him.
I was reading on a wiki. I'm kind of perusing the Star Wars wiki for some reason.
No reason at all.
There was a rumor, canon rumor, that somebody thought Jar Jar Binks was Darth Vader.
Oh, that's what do you mean?
There's a legitimate in canon that I don't know who it is, but someone
in
not in the
canon,
game.
yeah,
is someone in canon
thinks that he is Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
I gotta look now. I gotta look that up because no
Anyway.
one knows, at least at the beginning, that
No.
Vader is obviously Skywalker.
No.
So, which is interesting.
Right.
By the way, read that fucking Vader run. It's so good. It really is.
The recent one?
Yeah, you talk it starts out with him getting his saber crystal and how he gets his red lightsaber and all that. You'd think it would be boring as I just described it, but they do a really cool story. Definitely worth your time. So yeah, I thought that end world was really, I think, at least well done for me, where you went in, you kind of need to use all your force powers. There's that one room where you're kind of facing down a lot of the tough purge troopers and all that, and I don't know, I felt powerful. I felt like a Jedi, and that...
No, he's not, Casey. Jar Jar is not GOAT.
The GOATist. Darth Jar Jar. I really think that was a thing. The way it looks like... But George just pussied out.
We don't.
Oh, God. Darth Jar Jar podcast coming at you soon.
So, closing thoughts. I think I enjoyed the game. I just think the gameplay isn't super tight for me for some reason. I enjoyed the lightsaber combat, but something about it I think needed a little more tweaking, and it would have been better. Another 3 months in the oven. I think
it would have done something. Yeah. And I think they really did kind of push it out now because it's Star Wars
and
time.
when people are when you guys are game of the year, I'm like, fuck off. I'm like, no way.
I mean,
sorry, not for me, man.
Before it came out,
not to discredit you, but
no, yeah, no, it's funny. I
it's
don't think it's
not
my game of
good.
the year. I liked it more than Death Stranding so far, at least. I know those are fighting
now
words,
we're throwing punches.
but again, the polish is what really sets it back for me. I think is really what keeps me from.
It's not polished.
It's not
Whereas,
as polished as Resident Evil 2.
Where I
really do
I think you can agree, Death Stranding's polish is
for sure.
unbelievable.
It is the fine
for
tuning
the
and
scope of what it is.
I can completely
and
agree.
Just Fallen Order, you kind of think would be polished because it's not huge.
No,
right?
But I feel like this is a 2-year-old game. Where they started this, I don't think that they had the full time that they probably should have. And I do think that they kind of pushed it out.
Respawn did a good job, and I think the sequel is going to be even better, but they really need to up the ante, and I feel like Square Away the genre a little bit better.
And
they just need to understand what it needs to be.
For sure.
Not they tried something different, and I don't think it was bad, but if this was not Star Wars, it would not have sold. period. I don't think it's that good of a game.
Yeah, but
Star Wars is selling.
I know.
it.
I hate.
You
when,
look at games like Neo, which is another Souls game that's on exclusive on PlayStation that did well, but not that well.
Sure.
And then you have Lords of the Fallen, which is another Souls-like game, but it's just a random IP, and it didn't do that well.
No, I agree.
Like, so that's kind of where I stand with that. If it wasn't Star Wars, it wouldn't do as well.
Sell as well. I think it would still get reviewed just as well. I think so.
Maybe.
But I won't disagree with you there. I think that's
you
a big...
also have Star Wars canon and, years of story building
and
to
you're never
base
gonna
your game upon.
Get rid of
your
that
narrative.
But I don't think that's
I'm
necessarily
not saying that. I'm not like trying to bash it, but
but you
that's
just make
a
a point.
fact. That's a fucking fact.
And I actually agree with you on that for sure. I would be interested to see if this was just another Neo game. And I mean, I guess we have examples of it, like you just brought up with Neo and Bloodborne, and obviously this
Not
isn't
Bloodborne, Lords of the Fallen.
Lords of the Fallen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, which is an obscure game that you might
Exactly.
not know about.
No, actually, I think I got it for like $5 one time when it was on sale on PlayStation and tried it out. Wasn't for me, but I think that the combat's there. I think where they really need to fix is directing you through the space and really getting you path. I think they could have it could have been reined in a little bit more open world wise.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
100%.
I think if it was a little bit more directed and a little bit more focused, it would have been an even better experience.
Also, real quick nitpick about the lore and the story. Who the fuck are the
Zepho?
And you're just gonna introduce that and never bring it up again, unless they bring it up in the next game. They don't exist.
George
in
wanted
canon.
to bring it up in the next one. I'm pretty sure that was the original thought for him. Like when he was going to talk about like the wills and all like the forces behind the forces.
But then just like there's no like I looked up on Wikipedia. There's no mention of any Zepho planet. That's a new planet.
Yeah.
There's no mention of the race, and I'm just like, ugh. Like,
see, but
because it's not going to
cool.
matter. That's my point. It's just
but
like,
it mattered in this story,
right? I guess a little.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I think that's a little bit of a weird nitpick because I don't need these things to bleed. I just give me a good story. I don't need it to bleed out into the greater universe.
I just kind of wanted to have more substance that what I think it has, because you're never going to hear it about in the movies, and like that's kind of.
But you need to hear about it in the movies to give it credence.
No, but it wasn't established anywhere else in the Star Wars universe. It's not like the Zepho, like somebody just brought it up in conversation in like some movie and like never visited, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is established lore that someone had to write something for. Maybe George Lucas like has something there, and they're going to expand upon this like not well known story point, but it's not.
I guess I think that's the perfect amount of information I need. I don't know if I really need a whole
and that's kind of my like it's like same thing, like I'm not talking about Mandalorian, but real quick, like Mandalorian, like Baby Yoda, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. He's just there for
You know where I think he's going to? Ahsoka. Sorry.
Really?
That's my either
Dude,
him
if
or
they do that,
I mean, because what's his name? That's
I was about to say something weird.
That's Dave Filoni's like character. Like, I really do think that that's a possibility if she doesn't show up in another Star Wars property of any kind.
But
go ahead.
But anyway, if you're a Star Wars fan, definitely pick this game up.
100%.
But if not, I don't think it's for you.
Yeah. I agree.
I
think again, a big draw is the story.
I mean,
I do think if you're a Souls person and enjoy that genre,
you could get some kicks out of it, but like you're not going to get the replay value that Souls and Bloodborne have.
I would agree with that. I mean, I did.
You're gonna get
after I stopped with this game, I put it down.
This game is worth one playthrough, and I've been going back to 100% and get all the achievements. Oh, it's a nightmare because I got to go through the fucking Zepho and fucking go all the way back. And
all
it's
those
annoying.
things that you kind of are picking up.
On.
Yeah, they're putting stuff on your lightsaber usually, or it's a skin for BD1, and you want to use that as you're going through the campaign.
They're useless once you beat the game.
Yeah, it's just more for your own
completion.
Pleasure. I don't know, and I think that's the case with most games, at least for me, anyways. Once I'm done with the game, or the story, I should say, I rarely even pick back up. Like even Red Dead, I finished that, and I got most. I finished the campaign, I should say. And I had most of my challenges and everything done on my second playthrough, but now I'm finding trouble getting back into going on for the story mode. I think that's
I think the Red Dead end game is like really this like part of the game.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it's because I did a lot of the end game in the main game. Like I think I have
like visiting like Tilly or whoever from the old
those
squad.
are such
Or
great little story beats.
Yeah,
to get you back
like
in.
I think there's still story there for you to do and like pick up after Arthur. Spoilers.
Again, I think that's also, I guess that is like kind of a bit of an apples and orange comparison. But anything else, Gooch? I'm trying to read.
No, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it too.
That's the way I'm feeling.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order if you're so inclined. I think it's worth your time, Gooch. I think.
And now I'll buy Trio sometime as he brings up the intro.
Gooch, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't you-
Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for joining us live on twitch.tv/Delco Network. We very much appreciate it. You can find us on YouTube as well as most podcast services. Just search Delco Nerd Network. If you could drop us a review while you're at it, hey, that always helps us out. All this info can be found on our website, DelcoNerdNetwork.com. Thank you all so much for watching. For Gooch, I've been Trio. Stay nerdy, guys, and we will see you next time.